This is
the Handbag Husband.
the Handbag Husband
In Las Vegas,
Yay!
baby.
Beautiful Las Vegas, the Bellagio, in fact. We are here in beautiful Las Vegas because we are going to be doing some Hermèscapades on the one street in the entirety of the United States and maybe in the world. There's 3 Hermès boutiques on it. It's on the same street. They're a little far away, but they're all put together. So we're going to go to the Crystal Palace, stores at Crystal's Hermès.
The shop as Crystal.
Shops at Crystal's Hermès. Man, I get it wrong every time. To the Bellagio, as we are here right now, as well as the Wynn boutique. We're going to kind of feel out how it's been since the last time we visited, a little bit more than a year ago. And I think a lot of things have changed. We have gained more experience, we've gained more spend, we've gained some more boutique visits around the world.
Hermèscapades.
So we're going to compare how that reflects now on how Las Vegas boutiques are right now, how we feel about them, and which ones we like and which ones we don't, and also what we got offered. Now, before we get to it, if you like these videos, if you like the Hermès milieu, if you like the Hermès conversation, and if you like the Hermèscapades, and we're in the US, yay, US, please don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help our channel grow, and we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because it means you'll get notified when our newest long videos come out, like this one, our short videos, and everything else we have in between on the socials, on Instagram and on YouTube, because we have new Hermès content coming out every single week. All right, so let's get down to our Las Vegas Hermès boutique visit review. So we just got done with our visit here at the Hermès in Crystal, the shops at Crystal, I think is how they call it. And it is such a beautiful store. You can see here in the background, it's one of the biggest stores here in Las Vegas. And obviously one of the great things about Las Vegas is that they're all on the same street. So we can go to each of them. And this is the first one that we went to. And the visit was kind of as I expected. Yeah, it's what I expected, right?
As expected, yeah.
I think that given kind of the previous experience we had a great experience at the Crystal shops here last time at the Hermès. This time, I feel like it's tightened up a little bit. I feel like their willingness to work with folks on quota bags, non-quota bags, has tightened up a little bit more to the point that, you know, the SA was really almost unenthusiastic about the assistance. And I don't think it was bad, right? I don't think it was bad, but you just didn't feel the momentum that comes when an SA has the ability to offer something. We had put in our appointment like 2 weeks ago, and they just got back to us like this morning that it was approved. And also our SA is like, oh, I read your notes on it because we're looking for some of the larger bags, Hack, Kelly Voyage, something big for me in leather. And right from the very beginning, they were like, no. We have no bags, no men's bags, we have no women's bags, which is expected, right? And I think every time that we go to the boutiques like this, we always get that, but also the fact that we always disregard at least the first time, right?
I don't know. I guess I didn't go in last time. To me, it feels okay.
Yeah.
It feels like expected, maybe because of no expectation.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other side of it is that we have changed a lot since the last time we've been here. Because the last time we were here was about a year ago, or maybe a little bit more. It is before we had really begun our Hermèscapades like in earnest. So I think the one thing that is very different is that we have changed a lot. We have a lot more of experiences. We have a lot more relationships built with multiple SAs around the world, and we have a lot more, offers that we've had.
I guess we pay more attention to details.
Yes.
Like before, we just like, oh yeah, we got a bag, yay, done.
Yeah.
Right now it's okay. Start to nitpick a little bit more, like take into a little more details.
You start to look at the nuances.
Yeah.
You know, it's like watch people. They're like, oh, this one little dial is off just a little bit, and it makes the world of difference.
Yes.
I think the same thing is that we've put an analytical eye to our visits.
Sure, for sure.
And we've also had a lot of experiences. We've met many SAs between then when we started and now where we are right now.
Sure.
And so when we start comparing that experience here in Las Vegas, you know, I think that we find that it's a different experience for us because we have changed.
Okay.
Initially, I think the visit overall, like again, you know, it was not fruitful, and that's okay, right? That is the point. That's the point of turning over the rocks, is to see if there's anything under there, and there oftentimes usually is not. You know, our hit or miss ratio with any sort of bags is very low. Additionally, to go along with that experience thing, the other thing that the SA had mentioned is like, she's like, oh, you know what? all the things you're asking for. You know, the specific charms we're looking for, the specificity of the bags and the non-quota bags and the objects that we're looking for. So these are all hard items to get, right? And I think that that's something that we had not really had previously because we're like, oh, I just want a bag. What bags do you have? Whereas now we're like, oh, we want this bag with this specific criteria and this specific color, or this, you know, this specific item. And she's like, these are things that I've never even seen here in the last however long she's been working here. And these are things that are very difficult to get. And that makes sense because as you progress in your Hermèscapade, the things you look for are the things that you can't get really anywhere else. I think lastly, I would say that would I come back here? Yes, of course. I think that even though we had experiences that were less than favorable in some of the other boutiques here in Las Vegas, we're still going back, right? We're still turning over the rocks because in the same way you can't put your hand in the same river twice, I don't think you can visit the same Hermès boutique twice. I think things change, things rotate, and the environment changes, and all that has an effect on how your visit goes. And this time, you know, it's a low tide time, right? There's not a lot out there, and things seem to be pretty strict. And oh, also, you know what? Even though they can see our profile and we have a pretty reasonable spend, I would say, you all know our spend, we know our spend, they know our spend, it still didn't make much of a difference, which is something I thought was very interesting.
Where we at? Bellagio. That's not Italy Bellagio.
All right, so we are just on our way in here at the Bellagio, into the Hermès at Bellagio. See if maybe our experience is going to be, hopefully, maybe a little better, hopefully a little better than what we had at the Crystals, the shops at Crystals, but you never know. They got the new boutique that we have never been to, and it's finally moved in, and I'm really excited to see how they build it out and how it feels now that we're a year later.
The newly renovated.
Yeah, they renovated it, so hopefully it'll be cool, and hopefully we'll get some bags. You can do it.
So hopeful.
So much hopeful. How long is the wait?
Wait, where is the line? Where?
There's a no line.
Oh, no line.
All right, so we just got done with our boutique visit here at the Bellagio, as you can see. It's pretty amazing. It's such a beautiful, it's a different beautiful experience.
It's iconic.
It's iconic, but it's also just beautiful and different from shops at Crystal, obviously. And I will say that our visit overall was a world of difference. A world of difference. Just the level of kind of enthusiasm, the excitement, and maybe the other people had bad days, whatever. But here, I really felt like they treated us well. It felt like a true kind of more Hermès experience than what we had this last time at Crystal. And in fact, last time when we came last year, or about a year ago, it was also good, but they had their like old store and it was kind of janky, and it was they were all kind of like out of sorts. Here, everything is dialed in and it's pretty good. And in fact, we got a lot of good news from this SA, and I don't know, maybe he's being overly optimistic, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was a good experience. What do you think?
I think it was very, like, it's warmer.
Much warmer.
I'm still very skeptical about him talking about like the wish list and quota bags. What else? But he's more like willing to like look for stuff for us.
Yeah.
And like
amicable. Like the word is just they were just more amicable.
Yeah.
That's all, right? Much
like
warmer,
engage in conversation.
Much more engaging.
We got one bag offer.
Yes, we got one bag offer. We'll put that up there. It wasn't exactly what we're looking for.
It's your arch nemesis.
It's a weird version of the arch nemesis.
Sure.
So we got offered a bag offer, and I don't know if we're gonna do a video on
no,
it.
I don't believe so.
It was the garden party, but with like the extra.
The men's one.
The men's one with the extra, like the 2-story one, right? The extra
double deck.
The double decker one. And of course, most of the bags we're looking for are in leather, and we're open to different leathers. And in fact, that one had an interesting. Do you remember what the name of the leather on that one was?
Pop it up. I'm gonna pop the picture.
Yeah, I'll pop it up here. It was a new leather I had never seen before. It starts with an N. And I thought it was very interesting, but the bag overall was canvas.
Nurago? I don't know. No, I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
But the bag overall was canvas and leather, and we primarily look for leather bags because that's kind of how we roll. So I think that he was very optimistic in the sense that talking about you could develop a relationship.
Non-local.
For the non-locals,
like, yeah.
He's like, we don't really have a local or non-local policy here, which again, different from our experience.
Like I said, guilty until proven.
Maybe he's just young and like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? And just hopeful about how things work.
Yes.
So I will give him the benefit of the doubt, but
sure.
I don't know. But yeah, they seem open to developing a relationship if we wanted to. And he's like, look, if the bag comes in, there's not even really a spend level. It's not like, oh, you have to have a pre-spend. It's more of like, if the bag comes in, it's available, it's not claimed, I can get you the bag.
He didn't really say, but he's like, you probably obviously need to have relationship, meaning like spend a little bit.
Yeah, he was talking more about time frame. He's like, oh, you need to spend more time, which also equates to money, I guess, too.
But he also basically flat out look at your profile and say it's not this high.
Yes, he did definitely say, with the spend where you're at,
and the time that
and you haven't been offered anything, he's like, it's a little overdue. It wouldn't be the same here. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's why I said guilty until proven.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't know
so,
yet. Yeah.
I mean, that could be just big talk. We don't know, right? That could be big talk,
Correct.
and he's trying to get the business, which I admire. Hustle, right? There's nothing wrong with a hustle.
Sure.
So, but overall, I think I would definitely come back to this one. The experience so far has been the best that we've had since all of our visits to Vegas in the last year or so.
Sure. We'll still have Wynn left, but we'll see.
Maybe it's because they got the new store, right? Maybe they're happier there, maybe it's more comfortable, maybe they got better training. I don't know what's going on.
Just Monday.
And maybe it's just as Monday and it's a slow day and they got time to kind of do what they need to do with us. But the experience was good. We asked, the other thing was great. We got to at least see some of the larger bags that I've been lusting after.
Yes.
So we saw like a Kelly Maxi. We saw a Hack.
So Kelly Maxi is 40.
The 40, yes.
Yeah.
We saw the Hack, like a real Hack, not Hackado, like a real Hack.
Hack 40.
But it was in canvas and it was also display only.
Obviously.
They had the Kelly Touch, or the flap touched in black and gold. It was a croc touch. Yeah.
You mean Birkin?
Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
Birkin.
I was like, which
I'll
one
put the
is
picture
this?
up, but yeah, it was a Birkin.
There's a picotin tricolor.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I guess compared to the first one, we didn't really get to see much. So
We
this
didn't
was
really
like,
get to, yeah.
I
I guess the other thing that's interesting is that we had talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it in the last one or maybe we were just talking about it personally, but as about like the style of bags they get to show, right?
Sure.
Because he's saying like things like the 24-24, like they just got their 24-24 now. We got the 2024 offered and bought last year in the UK. He's like, oh, this is the first time we've seen a 2024 here ever.
Yeah,
right?
because I was asking for a move bag.
Yeah.
The banana bum.
Yes.
Whatever the thing is.
Yeah, the move
the
bag.
move bag. Yeah.
And I asked for the drag bag as well. And he's like, we haven't seen those ever as of yet.
It's surprising that Vegas is so vanilla.
It's not surprising.
I don't know.
I mean, I would imagine that the general consumer in Las Vegas is pretty vanilla, right? They're not looking for the Kelly dance with the feathers. They're not looking for Dessord. They're not looking for whatever else it is.
Sure.
They're looking for Kelly taupe, Kelly black, Birkin, in Barania, whatever, right?
Sure.
And that's totally fine. I'm looking forward too. there's no shade on that.
Sure.
But there's a reason why. That's one of the things that he had said is like, oh, we don't get all those kind of really crazy, exotic, weird looking, exotic in the weird structure and functionality, not as far as leather
For
exotic.
Sure. Yeah.
They don't get them because they don't have much demand for it, and so the big wigs at the headquarters are like, well, why are we going to send these really kind of circus freak style bags to a place where people don't value them in the same way? I think.
Okay.
At least that's my and his kind of
educated
discussion. So overall, Bellagio, I think next time this will be the first one to come to, for sure.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Even though the parking is $18.
Gotta pay to play. So we are on the way to the Hermès boutique here at the Wynn, and our experience last time was less than favorable. So we'll have to see how it goes. But I don't know. Given the way that the Bellagio went, it might be good. There might be something there. So of course we're always willing to give it another chance, and let's see how it goes. All right, so we just got done with our visit here at the Wynn, at the Hermès in the Wynn, and I can tell you that since last year, it is a world of change, a huge change, and I don't know, it'd be a good fight between like which one was actually a better visit, and we'll talk about that here later. But overall, the Wynn visit was pretty good, right? I think that the boutique, in comparison to the last time, is more well stocked. They're more well staffed, and the staff seem to be more knowledgeable than the last time we went. So, I don't know. I really I felt pretty kind of warm and fuzzy, and we got a pretty interesting bag offer. I don't know. What do you think, though?
I think it's good. it was feels very less formal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe because the personality of the SA that we got.
Yes.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I think the essay obviously the essay always makes a big difference, but these last two essays that we got were both pretty good. I think the Wynn one we got was really, really good, and maybe it's just because we're kind of more simpatico, right? Like
Sure.
everything seems to line up a
Sure.
little bit more. And we did get offered I don't know if it's a quarter bag. Is it a quarter bag?
It's not.
It's not. But we got offered a
If
hackado.
you can get it online, then it's not.
Okay, fair enough. We got offered a hackado and Birkin,
The small one. Yeah.
but it's a smaller one. It is like the medium size, you think?
The small.
The small.
They have
yeah.
those two sizes.
Oh,
It's
okay,
small
yeah,
and
it's a
large.
smaller size. So it wasn't something that was going to be ideal for us. I mean, it was beautiful. Look, I love the way Birkin looks. I love the way Birkin looks. But the bag just wasn't right for us, I think. And I'm really kind of holding out for the larger bag, like a hackado or a normal hack, or something large, Kelly Maxi, etc. But I was really flattered that they offered to us, our first time in, no spend, just kind of showing up and being friendly and talking some Hermès shop with them. We got a chance to get offered that. But also, I think that, I don't know if she was overselling the boutique, but it feels like this boutique has a lot more juice or a lot more variability and a lot more influence than maybe some of the other two. What do you think?
Sure. I don't know. I think she sounds more realistic
Yeah.
to the situation. She's like, hey, like we don't have any bag, we don't have any letters, but it does come in.
I think what I like most.
She's more open about like the situation.
Yes, I think what I like most about the essay here is that she was frank and friendly, right? And no, we didn't get offered water and we didn't offer coffee. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna hold that against anybody. But I like that they're open, honest, and frank and friendly about how the process works, how it works for folks here. And realistically, again, they had reiterated that there's not a local, non-local policy. Yes, they want to know who they're doing business with, who they're interacting with.
Sure.
So they want to see folks who just show up and show face and don't just send a text from a million miles away and never show up.
Sure.
But I think that she was like, look, this is how it kind of works out. And when we compare them side by side, where the spend and the time passage history from Topanga to the potentiality of here, it puts us into question. It's like, which one would make more sense?
But again, you don't know until
again,
guilty until proven.
Yes.
It's always
Topanga is reality, and the Wynn is hypothetical at this moment.
Sure.
Right? So we don't know how that actually plays out. This is what the essay is telling us. And although they feel honest and truthful, I think Hermès in general, oftentimes we have to take what they say with a grain of salt because everyone is perceiving the world in their own way.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but overall, I like the Wynn. I think. I don't know. I like that this one is way better. Last time we went, they had no bags on the shelf. All they had was a Steve that they offered, and they were very cold and unfriendly. Which again, this one 360 degrees changed. They had lots of bags on the shelf, super duper friendly. Offered us, an interesting bag, very much so. But I think one thing that really worked out in our favor is like, we have nothing but this garden party. Remember in the very beginning, that's all she did. We have this garden party.
Yeah.
We said, okay, great. Let's talk more and more and more. Talk. Where's our situation? Why are we looking for this bag? Explaining to her, after we got more time to explain to her, like, I have a cabotage, I have some medium bags, Kelly Depeche. I want something big for our upcoming trip to Europe, something that can be used as kind of an overnight bag or something big, a hack, right? Put my boots in. Once we got to that explain, then she's like, let me think about what else we have in the inventory. Let me check some things. And she offered us the hack of dough.
She took us to the room.
Yes, she took us to the room, which does make me very excited, even if I know it's not the thing. But there's always a hope. It's like, maybe she's gonna surprise us with something even better. But I was really honored to be offered it, and I think this experience is so different from the last time that we'll definitely be back to the Wynn for sure. All right, so with all that being said, let's get down to the brass tacks, right? Which one is the best? Which one do we like the most? And which one do you think has the best possibility of developing a relationship or maybe even getting potentially quota and non-quota bags? Because the thing is, we got offered non-quota bags at 2 out of the 3, right? So first off, the Shops at Crystal was, in hindsight, to me, just one time, sort of disappointing.
Sure.
Sort of disappointing. I think that the level of service was there, but the enthusiasm wasn't there.
Maybe
It may-
coffee hasn't hit yet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe that espresso hasn't hit yet, or maybe it was too early in the day, or maybe the person got a flat tire on the way to work. I don't know, right? Everyone gets a mulligan, so I'm okay with it. But
But she was not rude. It
No.
was not like
No,
rude,
no.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
It was none of those. None
Yeah.
of those. So.
but just unenthusiastic.
Sure.
Unenthusiastic.
Sure.
So, yeah. Bellagio, on the other hand, the new store is nice, right? I like the way that they redesigned it. It feels comfortable. It feels very intuitive. They had more of the bags that we like, or I like the large bags. They had a hack. They had a large Kelly 40 maybe.
The maxi.
The maxi. So they had a couple different things, although they're relatively short on stuff inside. I think one interesting thing about Bellagio is that it really does seem to cater to the very like down the middle, like vanilla
Sure.
bag crowd, which is okay, right? We're also vanilla bag. I like seeing the feathers, but I don't need feathers, right? I don't think so. So, and that one also seemed relatively promising as far as what they could offer us, and what that roadmap would look like if we wanted to try to develop a relationship with them. I think one thing that is very obvious with all three of them, but more so in the last two, is that there's a lot of new people working. There's a lot of new SAs working. So they've been around for most of them. None of them people we talked to have been there for more than a year, really. Right?
Or a year.
Or
yeah.
just about a year.
A year,
So, I think there's a lot of new faces and a lot of new people showing up. So maybe maybe that's why they're still enthusiastic. They're still bright-eyed and like bushy-tailed and hopeful for what they can do, or maybe they're overselling it to try to get their kind of book of business going or whatever. But they're definitely telling us what we want to hear, and Bellagio was one of those. And then, of course, as we get to the Wynn, I think this trip, Wynn wins. Wynn is the one that I like the most here, just because the experience is nice, super laid back. The SA was very, very knowledgeable and very, again, friendly and frank about what is with the process if we want to develop a relationship, and realistically what we can expect within the time frame. So I think when we compare the reality of Topanga to the hypothetical relationship in the Wynn, the Wynn looks better, but again, I think you're right, the reality could be there. But I think the feel of the Wynn was nice. It was much more comfortable. It's more laid back. It's easier to get to.
Among
Bellagio
the three,
yeah, above the three, yeah. The Bellagio is so crazy. There's just people all over the place.
Sure.
And the Shops at Crystal feels a little cold. Really,
Because
it does.
everything's
feel cold.
white.
Everything's white. It's muted. It's kind of So I think for this one, Wynn wins for me. What do you think?
My take on this is, interestingly, Crystal keeps saying like, "Hey, go back to your store."
Yes, that's the only one.
But the two at Bellagio and Wynn, they was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, of course, we can do non-local.
Yeah.
Like no issue. Like right this way, let's do it."
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
down for us have a long-term customer.
And sort of a long distance relationship,
Correct,
like
correct.
a pseudo long distance
Sure.
relationship. Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised that like Crystal's like, nah, just go back to your store. Like my
Yeah.
advice, like don't shop at
Yeah.
their store.
Yeah.
Go back to your store. Like okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah. But like, I'd like some Hermès bags, madam, and she's like, they're back the way you came.
No, it was not that. But like I'm surprised that she was not. Like by being in Vegas, of the amount of tourists that you get per year per day.
Yeah.
Kind of that's why I'm kind of surprised. Like okay, why?
It did feel a little like a blow off, like
Yeah.
whatever. I think the other interesting thing is that they had mentioned, if you are buying things and having them shipped to you, which is
Yeah.
a possibility,
Yes.
that there's kind of a limit. They're like, oh, they don't want to go more than $6,000 for something, which makes sense. I mean, it's hazardous, the shipping
Like
and the cost and the
insurance.
insurance.
Yeah.
So I think that was an interesting thing too. And obviously, they're not going to send you any bags. They're not going to send you any quota bags. Those are things you got to show up, show the face, and pick up. And I'm not against that. With a 3.5 hour drive, it's a nice drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
So yeah, I think overall, if we put them in order, actually you go first. What order would you put
3, 2,
them?
1.
3, 2, 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1 is best. Number 2
Yeah, 3,
is
2,
less.
1.
Yeah, which one would you do?
So 3, 2, 1.
Oh, 3, 2, 1. So you go Wynn, Bellagio.
So 1, 2, 3.
So
Wynn is,
Wynn,
Wynn is number
Bellagio,
1, Bellagio is number 2. and
Shops
then-
at Crystal.
Yeah, and number 3.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Twinsies. We agree finally on something.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that is the way. And also, nicely, it's geographic. So you could start at the south side of the strip, go to the Wynn, go to Bellagio, go to the Crystals, Shops at Crystals.
What?
This
Oh,
is-
you want them to start.
If you're driving, what order would you go in?
Depends on where you stay.
Yeah, but still.
Here comes.
All right, so that is it for our Las Vegas Hermes boutique visit reviews. And again, there's so many changes. It's way different than a year ago. And I guess that does go along with that philosophy that you cannot go to the same Hermes boutique twice. Really, you really can't. And things change, people change, policies change, everything changes. And for us, I mean, everything basically flipped around from the last time we were here. So, you know, I think that if you're in Vegas, obviously go to all three, right? There's literally no problem with going on three. They're all on the same street and you can do it pretty shortly, depending on how quickly they tell you they don't have any bags. But overall, I think the Wynn and Bellagio have really turned it around. And crystals, maybe crystal is the same as it always was, and these ones have just gotten way better, and that's why it looks that way. I don't know. But if you like these videos, if you like the Hermes milieu, if you like the Hermes conversation, if you like the Hermèscapades, and the bag candy, we might even have some bag candy for you on this one. Not a lot, but some, because they did show us some pretty cool stuff in our offers. But if you like all that stuff, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help the channel grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because it means you will get notified when our newest long videos come out, when our newest short videos come out, and all the stuff we have on the socials, on Instagram and on YouTube. At the Handbag Husband, we have new Hermes content coming out every single week. So for these Hermèscapades here in Las Vegas, one more time, thank you and goodbye.